Tell us about your work with the Soil Association, Transition Network, and the book that you're writing.
Well, I'll start with the Soil Association. Yeah, that was, I gave a talk at Schumacher College last year on a course they did about food, and Patrick Holden, who is the director of the Soil Association, came along and sat in on that and had this sort of conversion on the road to Damascus about peak oil and food and agriculture and so on. And that's really been very influential in where the Soil Association has been going since. And they've their big conference that they did in January that was called One Planet Agriculture was all about how peak oil can affect what the Soil Association is doing, and it does really seem to have kind of got right into the heart of the organisation, and they're rethinking a lot of what they're doing, and that's been a very exciting dynamic, really. The Transition Network is something which emerged out of the overwhelming interest in the transition town concept that really, we only really started properly in Totnes about 7 months ago, and already there's sort of 15 or 16 other towns now wanting to do the process as well. So that was approaching overwhelm levels pretty quickly. So we're now setting up the Transition Network, which is a charity and which will aim to support, inspire, train, network all the various transition town groups around the country. So there'll be a series of booklets that will provide information. There'll be trainers who'll be able to go out to the different towns and run training on how to run productive meetings, how to design organisations, how to use the 12 steps, how to do all the various things. So it's really trying to support those initiatives because they're all at such different stages, but then also to act as a point where we pull back the insights and the successes and the failures and the lessons that get learnt in all the different towns, because that's really one of the key things. As I said, it's like a big research project really, so we need to really work out a way of sharing that. So the book that I'm writing at the moment is basically a kind of transition town manual, and trying to define the idea, the big idea really of it, why it's different from other environmental approaches, why it's really urgently needed, and why it answers much more of the questions than a lot of other approaches do. So that should be around in the spring sometime.